Hi, in this video I'm going to share my top 3 Drugstore BB creams, and I'm also going to share a little demonstration on how they perform as well as what the finish will look like, so that you can also decide at the end which one you should get, as those BB creams are also great if you have a fair skin tone. Now, my name is Melissa van Dijk and I'm a makeup artist, and none of my videos are sponsored, which means we can get started. So starting off with the first BB cream, which is by Kiko Milano. It's a daily protecting BB cream, and this one I'm using the lightest shade, which is a 1 Ivory, and this one is also a little bit thicker in texture, but it also gives you a beautiful and dewy finish. Now I'm going to take a bit on the back of my hand so that you can see it. It also includes a little smell, which is not like annoying to me, but I mean, if you're a little bit sensitive to fragrance, then this might be not the BB cream for you. Now I'm going to start off by just showing you how the texture is and also how it blends. It feels very creamy, and it definitely has a sheer coverage. So I'm going to use a bit on my fingers and showing you also on one side of my cheek how it's going to apply. And so by blending it in with your fingers, you will also achieve a very natural finish by just using circular motions and blending it into the skin. Now this one definitely gives you that dewy finish. It has a sheer coverage, but still, if you have a few blemishes or redness going on, it might not be enough coverage for you to get those covered. As you can see, I do have my breakouts right here as well as this one, and it didn't really cover it, which means if you have already an even skin tone, this is already enough for you. You don't need much more. But if you're looking for something that has a little bit more coverage, then we can also move on. But just a quick note, you can always use a concealer over those blemishes. Now starting off with the second one, which is the Maybelline Dream Satin BB Cream. This one is also in the lightest shade Clear, and this one comes also out liquidish. Now I'm going to clean the back of my hands so that you can see the texture. And this one is definitely a little bit more, I would say, like running down the back of my hand. It is definitely like, it has definitely not such a thick texture as the one before. This one has not really a scent, like a very light scent, but nothing too strong. And you can apply all of them with your fingers, or of course, if you like to use a brush or a sponge, you can do so as well. This is what the texture looks like. I'm going to use it now on my chin area. This one feels a little bit more, how would I say, like a moisturizer, like creamy, like moisturizer. Has a little bit more coverage than the Kiko one, but still not enough to cover any blemishes. But I mean, if you're looking for BB cream, you're also normally looking for a natural and also light finish. So this is basically how the Maybelline BB cream works. Now this one also gives a very slightly dewy finish. The Kiko one has a little bit more luminosity than the Maybelline one. So if you're looking for something that has a little bit less of a dewy finish, then the Maybelline one is also great. Now I'm going to start off with the last one, which is my all-time favorite one, which is by Bourjois. It's the Healthy Mix BB Cream. Now it's also in the lightest shade, like light or clear, and this one is very running. Like, you will have a mess with this one because it always will look like this. But one thing that I love the most about this one is that it has quite a strong coverage for a BB cream. Now this one is also a little bit more runnier, that it runs down the back of my hand, but the texture itself is also very light and easy to blend into the skin. Now I'm going to take a bit of my fingers and then focusing it on the other cheek. So I'm just going to do the same thing, blending it into the skin using circular motions. And this one has definitely a little bit more of a dewier finish. It's similar to the Kiko one, but it has a little bit more of a dewy finish than the Maybelline one. So you definitely can pick the one based also on the finish that you want to get. And of course, depending on what skin tone skin type you have, you can also use a bit of powder to mattify those areas. But if you're a little bit drier, which I am too, combination skin, then this one is definitely enough. And it won't run down during the day. If you're going to use it very lightly, as I'm just showing you with my fingers, then it definitely is enough. You don't really necessarily need to set it if you're not getting oily on those areas, for example, but you still can set the scent of your face. Now here you can see now the 3 BB creams, and I personally have to say I find the Bourjois BB Cream the best based on how much coverage it has. It has a little bit of a scent, nothing too strong, and also on how the finish will look like. I find that it looks a little bit more like the most naturals. This one can look a little bit too over shiny, where you may want to use a bit of powder to powder it down, but it still has a great shade when it comes to a fair skin tone. Now from all those 3, I definitely would say the Healthy Mix one is my top 1. Then I would say the Maybelline Dreams Are Tan BB Cream, and then lastly the Kiko one based on the coverage. And then when it comes to the scent, this one has less of a scent, those 2 have a little bit more fragrance in it, but when it also comes to the shade, normally like the Healthy Mix and also the Maybelline one have 3 shades, like light, medium, dark, and this one has 7 shades, which means you have also a little bit more of a like wider range of shades available. Those are all 3 very affordable, and yeah, I mean, you just saw how it's going to blend it into the skin. I really like those. They are great if you have a fair skin tone, and of course, if you want to keep it shiny and dewy, you can do so. If you want to mattify it, use a bit of powder. Now those are my top 3 which I wanted to share with you, how they perform, how the coverage is, and also how they glide on onto the skin. You can use everything with your fingers or with a brush or with a sponge. Now I do hope that you enjoyed this little video as well as review of my top 3 Drugstore BB creams, and if you like this video then don't forget to give it a thumbs up as well as share it. If you want to see each and every review individually which I've done from those BB creams, you can click on this right here, and I do hope that you will enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye!